Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited. Today we have a very special guest. His name is John Boire, and he is from Medicine Hat, and he is a healer. But I'm not going to tell you. I know everything, so he's going to say how he got started, what he does, and I just have to tell you, he's fabulous, and he's trained internationally and does international work. Go ahead, Don.
Hi, thank you, Sandra, for having me and introducing me to your new book. My name's Don, as Alexa said. I'm happy to share my services. I provide craniosacral therapy, and I took my courses in Miami Beach, Florida, and a bunch of other places. And I specialize in somato-emotional release, which is tissue memory. And, and we all create patterns through childhood from trauma. So I help people locate the trauma through energy, and they decide if they want to release it or not.
So when it comes to that somatic, the tissue, so that it goes in the tissue and it's held in the tissue, and it's not just say from childhood. Hey, it's like if at whatever age, if you go through a traumatic experience, you can hold that, can't you?
For sure, yeah, for sure
Yeah.
we can. And like I said, it can also be past lives as well. I mean, it
Right.
could be generational karma as well.
Yeah.
Those kinds of patterns. And I use my intuition to help the people get rid of it. And what happens when I start working on people hands-on, the pain comes up, triggers the memory of when it happened, and then the client will release it. So it's really quite interesting, and quite an interesting way of doing things.
Right. And so you also use different intuitive tools. You use your own personal intuition, but I think you said something about you've got a musical bowl, you've got gongs you use, and frequency tools and that type of thing, hey? Because we are
Correct, yeah.
energy beings.
Yeah, correct. I've got a bowl. Here's one of the bowls I use, and it's so that's one of the bowls used for the crown chakra. I've got one for every chakra. And if we have time during a session, I will use it on my clients to bring up their vibration. And because we're all frequency, so the more we can bring up our vibration, the better it's going to be for our body, emotionally as well as physically.
Right. So can you, I haven't got mine as packed, but I know if I hit mine, sometimes I have to hit it and then it goes around and it makes a sound. But
yes,
if I hold it on my hand, when it's the hand that it's being held on, that goes through my entire body.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
So you can do multiple things with a bowl. You can either ring it, or you can go round and round, and it does a different vibration, but it still has the same effect. So what happens, your tissue grows up to the vibration of the bowl, and then when it quits, it goes back to neutral instead of going back to trauma. So a sound therapy also releases trauma as well, which is really good.
Right. I always say you can make those bowls really sing. And
Oh,
I
for sure
know,
you can.
yeah. And so when I lived in Hawaii, I picked up one and I didn't realize what it was. It was a heart bowl. And then when I go to Ascendant Bookstore in Edmonton, they have a big selection of them, hey? But the one I got, I think the last one I got, has two different notes in it. It had it inside because it always says like if it's AE or whatever's in. And then I know people that have those big white crystal ones,
Correct.
the big crystal white ones where people will come and lay on different mats, and then the facilitator will do everything at once with the big bowls. But they're very expensive and they're very hard to carry around.
Yes, they are. Yeah, these aren't bad. I keep them in my office, so if we get an opportunity, let's say the session, gets done a little early or something, I'll do a 15-minute, 20 session with sound to help bring up the vibration of the client and relax them as well, or her.
Yeah. So I would really suggest to anybody, I mean, John can work online with you, but if you are in his area, if you go and maybe, John, you would even do one night, you can talk about them and get it really ringing and do different things and talk to them about the different things that it can do. or privately, you can guys do Zoom, and you do healings with your somatic healing online too, do you not?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Trying to do more and more of it, but I like the hands-on because it's more personal and you can get things done a little quicker.
Exactly, exactly. And so if anybody's interested in bringing Dawn to where you are, I'm sure if they set a group of people up to experience your treatment, say for 1 or 2 days, you would travel there. They could get a hold of you to see if you could facilitate that.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. If
Yeah,
I have enough clients to make it worthwhile, I will go. No, not a
exactly.
problem.
Yeah. And then even if anybody's going to be having any kind of a symposium, or you're going to have a group of guest speakers, that same kind of thing. And I can remember the first time I met Don, and I had not met him. I had looked at your chart, and I think that's really funny because I've done thousands of charts. And so I grab his chart, and I don't really know him. I'd met him and his wife once, and I go, what the heck does this guy do? So anyway, I phoned him and I said, I'm looking at your chart. I don't know what you do, but I said, basically, you're a healer, and I can see you teaching what you know. I can see you really getting into this whole kind of thing, because that's where you need to be. And one of the things about Dom, because I work with energy too, and of course I'm an astrologer, his sun sign is Taurus, so he's very grounded in this world. And one of the things that I have found over the many years working with many different healers and those type of people, it's hard for what I find, John, probably only me, what I find hard is for the healer themselves to stay really grounded, especially when the person comes in and they have a bit of chaotic energy. So I like working with grounded people. Taurians are very grounded, and they're ruled by Venus. So what happens is you have the ability to close off all the outside kind of energy and really get in and do what you need to do. Does that make sense?
Correct. It's really good. Yeah, it's a really good way to put it. I'm not. It's not my intention to take other people's energy. I'm just helping people release their energy. So if I take it on, I'm not going to be a very good therapist. So because
No.
then I gotta help them and not hurt myself doing it.
Right. And then another thing, it doesn't matter about the energy. You can talk to them about it, but you have the ability to be discerning. So you're not going to get caught up like in a gossipy way. Oh, well, it could be this or it could be that. It's just, this is the energy. This is what we need to release, and this is where we need to go. And
Correct.
I think that's very, yeah, of course, I'm pretty strong in that type of thing. I'll never forget. I was a spa consultant, so I worked a lot in spas, and I had given my daughter a gift certificate after she had one of her children. Okay. I thought it would be really nice. Okay. And so she chose this, and she went and she had this, and she goes, after mother, she never shut up, never shut up. And so I got a hold of her manager. I went, I want, number one, I want a new gift certificate, and not with the dingbats. I want a good person. And that was my exact words, the dingbat. And I'll never forget a man that owns a high-end spa in a very prominent place in Edmonton. And he phoned me and he said, because I had worked with him. I was his manager at one time, and I used to barter, not barter, but we used to disagree. And he actually wrote a really nice thing in the book about me. He said, I did listen to her. I went on my own, and my first year I made $1 million in my spa.
Can't go wrong.
Got to hold them tight, for the simple reason that he phoned and he goes, would you believe? He said, because he's also a hairstylist today, if my client come in and she's a psychologist and she was getting a massage, and he says somebody at the desk let it out she was a psychologist. So she got this stupid, and this is what's real in the real world. You wonder why I'm so strict. Is she gets this massage therapist that comes in. The massage therapist starts telling her about her boyfriend who's a heroin addict.
Oh my.
A heroin addict. So she phoned and she said, number one, I will never be doing that again. And of course, my friend said, I will. I will set you up with somebody else. And she goes, I will have this one, but she said, I will only come because of you for the hair. I won't come because of the spa. And that's a challenge that we're having, because people nowadays, Dawn, are very knowledgeable. Like, they know about the bowls, they know what somatic is. They understand that. They just haven't found the right people that can actually work with it. And it takes, for me, it's just like, I think I said this to you one time. A girl called me and she goes, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I said, well, beware. It takes years to gain that kind of experience. We know that. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
And you've done it for so long. And so I said to her, well, she said, could I just do a free one on you online? And I said, I really don't like anybody touching me or doing that. And I don't, because I said, I spent a fortune trying to heal my body. And so anyway, I said, okay, well, just a short one. So I said, but don't be telling everybody, don't go and start charging, build yourself up. You're just new. You haven't even gone through, like in my trade, we have to go through, they have to go out in the RAP program. They have to apprentice for a while before they can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So she phones me. No, she didn't phone me. I seen it online. $175 an hour. I rock. I'm really good. It's like, oh my God. So I'm saying, buyer beware. Dawn, that's why I love you guys and anybody that I have worked with, because I feel there's a lot of substance. You have the integrity, you have the wisdom. It's not just about the knowledge, it's about the wisdom, and it's about intuition and that. And you have the whole package, and your place is absolutely beautiful how you've got it set up. And like I said, you're always in training, you're always looking, and you've done so much training, and some of your teachers you've talked about are very interesting. So I really recommend that you contact Dawn and make some arrangements with them. Anything else you want to share with them, Dawn?
Nope. Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing for me.
Okay, that's good. What I want to say is I'm going to put this on my Facebook. It's going to go on, and then it'll go on YouTube. And it's going to go under, Dawn is an intuitive somatic healer. Remember those words, okay? And he releases trapped emotions. And let me tell you, what we've been through and what we're going through right now and what we've been through since 2008, I think everybody's got a lot of trapped emotions just from now, never mind from past life and whatever. And so what he does is, as an intuitive, Dawn sees. So when he's working on clients, he actually connects with the subconscious and somatic. Emotional and physical trauma is caused by lifetimes, past and present, enslavement codes, ancestral karmic codes, and personal karma. And thank you so much, and many blessings, Dawn, and take care. And I'm going to close off, and I want everybody to get a hold of Dawn.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate what you're doing.
That's my suggestion. So now I need to do this.